Choiselle is an all-natural skincare and wellness line inspired by the botanicals of St. Lucia and the Caribbean. I was living in New York at the time, and it was the middle of winter, and of course I was experiencing extremely dry skin and nothing was working. So I remembered my childhood living in St. Lucia, and how my grandmother and the women in my family, and just St. Lucians in general, how we would, look to our backyard, things growing in our backyard, to create products for our hair and our skin. One of my fond memories of my grandmother is her making coconut oil from scratch. And so I figured if she could do it, if they could do it back then, maybe I can find a solution to my dry skin with something I can find, with ingredients I found in my cupboard. And that was the initial inspiration around it, and then it kind of grew from there to become what it is today. I started very small. I took a very small amount of money just to kind of come out with a very simple line. I taught myself how to do everything. Everything was self-taught. I taught myself about design and labels and things like that. So I think doing it yourself like that, when you're not an expert in these things, it might take you a little bit longer than someone that, ideally you want to hire someone who could probably do it in 2 seconds, something that takes you maybe 3 hours or whatever. But yeah, you learn, the good thing about it is you learn all the different aspects of it. You're not just, my favorite part is actually creating and kind of coming up with the concepts, but I also know marketing, I also know digital marketing, I also know graphic design and labeling and standards, and so you get the full gamut of the business soup to nuts. No one was expecting COVID. Not when we all rang in that new year, we were not expecting 2020 to hit us with COVID, but here we are, and here it is. In 2020, I think one of the things we wanted to do was to expand to different islands. I just came from a mission trip out of Guadeloupe, so I was really looking to try to get our products into that market, the French Caribbean market. So that was one of the things that we were looking to do, which we put that on hold because borders were closed, the islands were closed. So yeah, that was one of the things that we said we'll revisit when things kind of open back up. So we've definitely been impacted by COVID in a good way and in a bad way, surprisingly. So the bad way is that our supply chains are not readily available with our products. For example, when we have to order our containers, our bottles, our jars, these are typically things that are always available, always on hand. But because so much of the country and the world was shut down, these things weren't either back order or was just not in stock. So there was a delay there, so I couldn't readily have my products available in stock like I wanted to. We went a long time with a lot of our products not being available, but our customers were very loyal. They waited, and when they did become available, they snatched it up like that. The positive part of COVID was that people are stressed because of the pandemic. They're scared. They're at home more than ever before. So they were looking for ways to manage their stress. They were looking for ways to make their home more comfortable. So they were seeking out products. More importantly, they were seeking out candles. And so we saw a peak or an increase in the interest in our candles. And we also saw an increase in the sales for that as well. So it kind of, I don't want to say it balanced itself out, but we had pluses and minuses. There are some rough patches here and there. I think this is just a bump in the road. I don't think this is the end of it for us. I think if we're able to navigate through this little bump, I still have all the plans and the vision I have prior to COVID. I still can foresee that happening, especially when things kind of slow down and open back up. I still have plans to implement those things. I don't think that this hasn't killed us. No, not yet, thank God. I would say that you have to learn how to pivot. You have to learn to think outside the box. You have to think of just unique and just different, innovative ways to kind of make your business work. If you were just doing dining in and you never did delivery, this might be a chance to start implementing a delivery service with your business. You just have to be creative, and I wouldn't say, just don't give up. Stay positive. I know it's easier said than done. be resourceful, think outside the box, brainstorm. Even if you have to, have a conversation with another business owner, maybe you can't see what you can do. Maybe speaking with someone else that's knowledgeable about your business, or that's another business owner, and they can give you some ideas of ways that you can pivot and kind of make it work for you during this interim, and then hopefully one day we can go back. Or maybe this new way of doing business might end up being even better than what you're originally doing. So you never know. I would love to see small business loan access. Like sometimes for us during this interim, we just need a little something to kind of keep the cash flow going. Maybe you're waiting for that check from a client that hasn't arrived yet and they're taking forever to pay. So maybe just having like a little bit of like access to like small $500 here, $1,000. We're not talking about big amounts of money, but just enough to kind of keep you something with low interest, something that you can pay back easily. Just small, micro kind of loans. I would like to see a lot more of that going on.